Hey everyone, thanks for joining us. We've got Joe Graham here from Lord Abbett doing a promo for our upcoming meeting here in a few weeks in Chattanooga and Knoxville. Joe's going to be covering short duration credit strategies. So quick bio on Joe, and then we'll get into a few teaser questions. He spent 20 years in the financial services industry in varying roles across both the sell side and the buy side. He's got his MBA from Wharton. He's also a CFA charter holder. And most recently, he joined Lord Abbett in 2015 and currently leads their investment strategy team. So, Joe, thanks for being willing to do this promo video with us.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, and thanks for being willing to speak as well. So we'll dig right in. As we mentioned, the topic is going to be short duration credit strategies. What's the long-term case for investing in short duration credit?
Yeah, it's something I spend a lot of my life talking about. It's interesting, at least to me, that it's outperformed on a risk-adjusted basis for so long and over so many periods. If you look at investment-grade credit and kind of tier it up by term over the course of history and then by credit risk, what you see is that shorter-term, lower credit quality within investment grade has outperformed over almost every period. Any kind of long-term period. And what I find really interesting about it is if you compare that to other low-risk type of phenomenon like low beta within equities, there's a lot of similarities there, because if you think about low beta and why that occurs, most people talk about lottery stocks and basically investors over preference for high beta outcomes or binary outcomes. And that's because when you do work on something, like a deep dive into a theme or an idea, you want something with a lot of leverage to what you just did work on.
Sure.
And so you tend to over prefer lottery stocks. Same thing happens in credit. You do a deep dive in credit, you don't want something that matures in 6 months. You want something that, has a spread duration of 2 or 5 or whatever.
Sure.
So I think that the space is ignored. In addition, institutions often segment the space up where when they're looking at shorter term things, they don't want to take a lot of credit risk. And a lot of times they don't have the capability to do this kind of deep dive to take that credit risk. So it keeps the area inefficient and keeps it out yielding. Sure.
No, that makes a lot of sense. So I guess what about now? I mean, is there a pertinent tactical consideration in the current low rate environment that we're in for short credit?
Yeah, it's an interesting time because in addition to rates being really low, the yield curve's inverted. And when you think about the yield curve being inverted, that's really telling you one or two things. One, that short-term rates are going to fall, and that's true in today's environment, but it also tells you something about the uncertainty around those short-term rate expectations. That's called term premium. So in addition to the forward expectation of rates, how much uncertainty there is. Term premium is at negative levels that we've never seen before. And what that's really telling you is you are paying to take that term risk. And people are willing to do that because stock bond correlations have been so negative over the last 20 years. But that's not always the case. If the Fed gets more restrictive, if different correlation regimes prevail, you probably need different diversifiers. And we think short credit can be one of those diversifiers.
Sure. No, that's insightful. So with that, definitely looking forward to your presentation here in a few weeks. And I think Joe will obviously dig deeper into this topic as well as Lord Abbett's specific capabilities. Just a reminder for all of our members and other attendees, it's going to be on September 11th. That's a Wednesday. Lunch is going to be in Chattanooga and dinner in Knoxville. Look out for an email here shortly with more details. Joe, thanks again. We'll see you in a few weeks.
All right. Thank you. Looking forward to it.